have two more things that I want to say. Oscar, you're fucking annoying. Do you know how
I thought you were gonna stop. I thought you were gonna be like, Oscar, you're fucking annoying.
Fucking annoying.
That's one.
It. I'm gonna steal something of yours, and you're not gonna know what. And I'm gonna steal your right shoe. And you're gonna be like, where the fuck is my right shoe? And I'm gonna be like, right here on my foot, bitch. My family is a bunch of liars and assholes, and I'm the only perfect pretty one. Kind of an asshole.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Hits Podcast. My name is Oscar. This is my sister, Sophia. This is our podcast. It's called the Hits Podcast. HTS, no I. Sophia!
Me.
I do not feel good today. So I'm going to try and be in a good mood. I'm trying to have a good time. Don't piss me off.
I was about to say, I'll try not to fuck it up.
All right. So, guys, hold on. Fuck. I need to open it. I'll be right back.
Oh, my God. I was ready first. Girl, man. I was officially ready first now.
I just wanted to open the blinds so it's like a little brighter in here. Anyways, guys, right now, Sophia does a lot of things, and I find them hilarious and amusing, but I don't think she's trying to be funny, right? Right now, I was kind of explaining to her, like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, I think this, I think that. That doesn't matter, right? What it actually was. And I was like, you get what I mean? Or like, you get what I'm trying to say? And she was like, yeah, I get what you're trying to say. And she was like, I'm catching what you're throwing down.
Yeah.
I'm catching what you're throwing down. And I was about to be like, the saying is, I'm picking up what you're putting down, right?
Oh!
She said, I'm catching what you're throwing down. And before I could correct her and be like, I'm picking up what you're putting down, she doubles down and comes up with a new one. She said, I'm mopping what you spill. Which, as far as like the, metaphor goes, I'm mopping what you spill. I think she said I'm mopping up what you spill or some shit. I'm mopping what you spill.
I'm mopping up what you spill.
I've never heard that before. She clearly came up with it. But it makes more sense than I'm catching what you're throwing down. You know what I mean?
You said I'm picking up what you're... Wait, what's it supposed to be?
What you're supposed to say, what you meant to say was I'm picking up what you're putting down. And that makes sense because you put something down on the floor and then you pick something up, right? It directly
I get you so
Hold
much.
On,
it doesn't
but then
even have
you
to
were
touch
saying
the floor yet.
You were saying I'm catching what you're throwing down. If I was throwing something to you, like the counterpart to catching is not throwing down, it's just throwing, right?
No,
so that's
I'm just
where
picking it up. Like,
so that's where it's wrong.
And I'm like, bitch, I got it.
That's why I'm picking up what you're putting down, as opposed to I'm catching what you're throwing
but
down.
I get it before you.
Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up! You're just arguing to argue. I already know her. I can see her stupid face. She's trying to hold in her laugh. What the fuck are you eating? I don't care. Anyways, so it's funny to me because the one that she said that was closely related to an actual saying was said wrong, but the one that she just came up with makes more sense. You know what I mean? I'm mopping up what you spill. That shit was hilarious. So anyways, I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know if she's trying to be funny, but I think it's funny.
I'm just naturally funny, you know? It's raw talent. Anyways,
what are you eating?
No, I was like joking. Like I try to swallow. Anyways, a bacon chicken ranch, a chicken bacon ranch, chicken bacon ranch. It has bacon and chicken and ranch, and it's a sandwich, and it's really good. I don't know which one comes first, but it's yummy.
Where's it from and when'd you buy it?
I bought it yesterday, and it's from this restaurant I went to with me and my friends. It's my leftovers.
What restaurant?
It's delicious. None of your business.
Well, fuck you then.
So I have a topic that I wanted to. It's the one I told Oscar. I was like, I feel like I don't know how he's gonna. I have a feeling he's gonna be like, let's talk about something else. But we're gonna try anyways. We'll see how this goes. Okay. So as you guys can see, I cut my hair. Look at it. It's all like short and whatever. But I was thinking, I was like, okay, like what hairstyles can like I do? I can do this, which hold on, let me show you real quick. Look. Ooh. Oh, right? So cute or whatever. And then I was like, just looking at all like the stuff that I could do, right? And then I was like, I feel like all of these hairstyles are like very like cutesy, you know what I mean? Which is fine. Like I love being cute, but I feel like I can't look hot with a bob, you know? And then I started thinking about it. I was like, bobs are just like wholesome. You know what I mean? I was like, do I know anyone that's looked hot with a bob? And then I started thinking, but yeah. And like,
that's the end of the fucking.
That's the topic. Yeah, that's the topic. Have you seen a chick that looks hot with a bob? But then when I tried to think of people who had bobs, I couldn't think of anyone. I was like, who even has bobs? You know what I mean? Like,
you know, it's so funny. As soon as you were like, can anyone look hot with a bob? I thought of someone immediately.
So it's possible.
I mean, I think I'm not even sure if it's a bob technically. It's my understanding it's a bob, but I don't know. Like if I'll show you, and then you'll be like, nah. Hope Van Dyne in the first Ant-Man.
Hope. Oh, is it when she has like the black and straight, and then like the bangs, like the
yeah.
I don't have bangs like that though. Is it the
But
bangs?
You know who I'm talking about?
I do know who you're talking about.
Yep. Like that.
But like I feel like that's like secretary hot. You know what I mean? And I'm not just gonna go walk around like a secretary. That's fair, but like I don't know. Okay. It just requires more effort, I think. But anyways, that was my topic. I just
You're ugly.
I said I was cute, not ugly. First of all,
no. Anyways.
Horrible. Okay.
Moving on.
I have 2 more things that I want to say.
Okay,
do you want me to get Okay. Go ahead. Okay. Oscar, you're fucking annoying. That's my next one. Do you know how frustrating?
I thought you were gonna stop. I thought you were gonna be like, Oscar, you're fucking annoying.
You're fucking annoying.
That's one. It. 2. Yeah.
That would have been funny. No. Do you know how frustrating it is when he doesn't know shit? Okay.
When I don't know shit?
Yes. I don't even remember what we were talking about.
Bro, that's No, you're annoying. No, you're annoying.
Hey,
I can't stand. I know so much shit, and then nobody ever like enjoys it. Nobody ever enjoys the fact that I know so much shit. And then every now and then I don't know something, and my family's like, you don't know this? And they fucking like...
It's annoying, because he knows everything, right? But then whenever we need... He knows useless fucking shit. Like, he knows a lot of stuff, right? And he knows, like, purposeful stuff, but then he also knows a lot of, like, useless, like, why do you need to know? I mean, cool, but, like, random fun facts kind of stuff, you know? But, like, whenever I need... I can't even remember what it was, but it was, like, kind of, like, a random thing. I was like, do you know this? And he looked at me. He was like, why would I know that? I was like, you fucking... Why are you looking at me like I'm the weirdo for thinking you might know something random, okay? Look. Tell them about the cactuses, Oscar. Tell them how much you know about cactuses. Tell them. I don't know, but Oscar, cacti. You fucking liar. Look at me in the eyeballs, okay? Look at me and tell me you don't know shit. Look at the viewers. Think of your mother and try lying to her face, okay? What do you know about cacti?
The easiest one to lie to there. Anyways,
he knows a lot about cactuses.
No, I don't. I know 3 things about one type. You guys know, I'm going to tell you because Sophia's yelling at me. You guys know those like stereotypical movie desert cactuses where it's like cacti, where it's like, it's the cacti body and then they have arms like that? Those cacti. Did you know those motherfuckers have to be 100 years old before they grow an arm? Crazy, right? Also, they grow, they expand and shrink like accordions. Like the little folds, the ridges, like the ridges go around like that. When they expand, the ridges like straighten out, and then when they shrink, they like crease up like an accordion, because that's how they'll store water. They'll like grow and like get a lot of water, and then they'll use it, and then they'll shrink up. And then what other ones? Oh, they're local to the Sonoran Desert. They don't grow naturally anywhere else. So like in Arizona, you'll see them everywhere. But like that desert that Arizona is part of, that's where they grow. That's the only place where they grow naturally. What else? There was a couple other things. Yeah, don't know. That's kind of it. I mean, their roots grow like super wide. They don't grow very deep at all, so they can get like enough water from like everywhere, you know. Because and then also in the desert there isn't necessarily more water deep around, stuff like that.
Why the fuck does he know that? Okay,
I don't.
Like,
honestly,
it's interesting.
I don't even remember where I learned all that.
It's cool, interesting, cool. I know it doesn't seem like I find it interesting and cool right now.
Yeah,
but
you don't seem very genuine.
Well, I was very genuine the first time he told me, but I've heard this several times. But anyways, super random. And
hold on, really quick.
About my own random things,
I don't know if we've said this before, but on that, there was one time me and my cousins were going to what is it? Not Lake Havasu, Lake Pleasant, I think in Phoenix. And we were driving over there, and like you have to drive through the desert, like it's a little bit outside of the city, but then eventually you get to the lake. And so we were there, and while we were driving, we were going through like the little trail on the kind of little mountain thing. And then it's 4 of us. It's me, my 2 former roommates, and then another cousin of mine. And we're just there, and we're just chilling, and we're kind of listening to music, and then we're just like looking around. And then the cousin that was driving, the one who I wasn't roommates with, he randomly was like, "Hey, Oscar." And I was like, "What?" And he was like, "Tell us some interesting facts about these cacti, about these cactuses." And I started laughing, and I was like, "Motherfucker, how do you know I have shit to say? Like, how do you know that I know stuff about the cacti?" And he was like, "Just tell us, come on." And then I told him those 3, and then they were like,
"See?
Nice." Like,
see? So that's why it's so frustrating when I want to know random facts about some other shit and he doesn't know it.
You don't even remember what the other shit was?
I don't, but I remember being really frustrated.
You fucking
This happened
suck.
like last week. We were, hold on. We were FaceTiming and I was in the kitchen. I can't remember what it was, but I remember being like, do you know this? And he was like, why would I know that? And I was like, and then I just typed in my notes. I was like, it's frustrating when Oscar, who's supposed to know everything, doesn't know everything.
Nothing.
How rude. So that's what I should have said. I should have typed out what it was, but yeah. So that was my other thing. That's so funny. Tell him about the cactus. Tell him about the cactus. Actually, I know 3 facts about the cactus. Anyways, okay. Now this is my last one, so you're gonna have to carry for the rest of the episode, okay?
I got a good amount of things. Go ahead.
Okay, cool. So we'll call each other, like a little bit before. Oh, it's a surfer, not a thumbs up. Sorry, we're on FaceTime, and when I went like that, not if you do this. Anyways, I was like this, and the thumbs up thing went up, and I was like, that's not thumbs up. This is. Anyways, sorry, I'm getting distracted. Oh, we were on FaceTime with each other before we actually started recording, you know? But when that happened, my mom called me and I was like, oh, mom's calling. I'm gonna hang up real quick, answer her, and I'll call you back, right? And he was like, actually, I don't even know if he heard me, but I hung up anyways.
I did.
Oh, okay. And so our dad ended up being like, what up? And I was just like, oh shoot, what's up? You know? And he was like, and then mom like geeked in. She was like, hey, we're trying to figure out where to eat, but we're not like deciding, like, so you need to pick for us, like, because I think she said Big O was being annoying, so you have to decide for us. And I was like, I was like, you need to go to Carrera's Carrera Rose, because I love saying shit wrong. And for those of you listening, it's Carnitas Carreteros. Anyways,
Carrera's
I was like, you should go there. Carrera's, yeah. I was like, you should go there, cause like I was like, but only if you eat molletes. And for those of you that don't know, molletes is like bread with beans and cheese on there, refried beans.
It's
and
toasted white bread with refried beans and cheese,
good.
yeah, and so butter's on the bread, of course.
Good. If you haven't had it, you're missing out on life, and I genuinely feel sorry for you. But anyways, I was like, but only if you have molletes, you know, because I want to live vicariously through you or whatever. And then they laughed. They're like, haha, like, we'll take a picture and send it to you, like, when you do. And I was like, only if you guys take a picture, like, taking a bite out of the, like, sandwich. And they're like, oh, my God. Or out of the mollete. And they're like, oh, my God, like, no, you're just, because I was like, no. You don't even know. You need to be there, like Lady in the Tramp, with mom on one side.
Oh my God.
And Oscar on the other side. And take a bite like that. And then they started laughing. They're like, yeah, we knew that's what you meant. That's why we called you ridiculous. And then I started laughing. It was really funny. And then they said, I can't remember like how exactly like came up, but I think she said like, okay, yeah, like this is why we called, because like we knew you'd make a decision. We tried calling Oscar, but like he didn't answer, so then we called you. And then I was like, wow. So I'm just the second choice then? Is that what you're saying right now?
I didn't even notice they called.
That's so rude. Yeah, mom said you didn't have to call because I already answered what they were calling for. But
I don't know. I'm not even sure I have a missed call.
Oh,
go ahead.
I don't know. But I was like, that's so rude. And then Big Oscar was like, you were my first choice. I told her to call you first. And then mom right away was like, no, he didn't. No, he didn't. And then I was like, and usually the way our dynamic with like our parents go, our dad will tell like a lie, right? And we pretend to believe it. And it's usually about our mom, like that's something like that.
That's always how it is. Like my dad will make some shit up and my mom will be like, he's lying. And then we'll all be like, I believe you.
No, he's not. I believe you. Even though we know he's lying. Yeah. But she's like, no, he's lying. Like, so she's like, that's not how it happened. That's how it happened. And I was like, no, I believe you. Like, I was just like, no, I think he wanted to call me first. You're the only one who hates me. You know what I mean? And it's just like, oh my God, you're such a liar. Like, it turned out it was really funny. But yeah, that happened. I actually also remembered something else I wanted to tell you. That was kind of funny. I went out last night with some of my friends, right? It was funny because one of my friends, he got a little fucked up. You know what I mean? Like, it fucking happens or whatever. And so, like, I'm walking her out, like, trying to get her back to my car. because I was like sober. And then she like kind of stops and she's just like, oh, and then she's like, just like, I can't even remember, but like when you're drunk, like there's like, you know how there's different types of drunks, you know, like the criers, the angry people, the whatever. Right now she was crying for like whatever fucking reason. She was just like, oh, it's like this isn't that, and like I'm so drunk, but like, and she's like just like going on, right? And then right behind us, like on the sidewalk, there's like these two like women, right? And one of them's like trying to walk away, and the other chick is like up in her face, and she's like yelling at her, like screaming, like, yeah, like what the fuck you want, bitch? Like a fight's about to break out. Like you could like tell, right? And she's all like, no, 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 no. And they're walking past, and my fucking friend, because she's on the wall, right, facing me, facing the street, and I'm facing her, like making sure she doesn't fall one way or the other, you know? This bitch, she like looks, because like I'm like keeping an eye out, you know, because I'm aware of like what's happening there, and I'm not sure how aware she is of like what's happening everywhere else, you know. But like I'm looking, and I think she notices me looking, and then she looks, and she's like, and she points at them, she's like, see, at least I'm not that drunk. And I was like, bitch, shut the fuck up. She's gonna punch you in the face. Like, I don't know what set this girl off. You know what I mean? Because I was like, I don't know if she's just really drunk picking a fight with some random person she knows. If she knows this person and she's fighting, like if she knows her and she's fighting with her, that's another thing. But if it was just from some random thing that said, excuse, like, you know what I mean? I was like, don't fuck. But I just thought it was so funny because she's like, see, at least I'm not that drunk. And they looked at us, like both of them looked at us, and I just grabbed her. I was like, and then I just started walking, like, bitch, like, fucking shut the fuck up,
shut up, get out.
And then but it was so funny. And then I walk her, and then like we kind of cross the street and sit at a bench, and then a fight breaks out. But it was crazy. Like it wasn't like just like them two do end up fighting. And I remember I kept looking, and like I see like because the police like all got there and shit. And like one of them has the chick like on the ground, and he's like handcuffing her. But then another fight like breaks out over there, and then multiple fights are just like it's like fucking like, you know, a food fight, but like not with food in the cafeteria. You know what I mean? But like not with food and like people, and like they're just like everywhere though. But like it's not a rumble. Yeah. And I was just like, what the fuck's going on? And I was like, we need to get the fuck out of here. So then like I walk her like away or whatever. But I just thought it was so funny because she's like, drunk. At least I'm not that drunk. And I was like, shut the fuck up.
You fucking drunk
to like realize, like, you know what I mean? I thought that was really funny. I haven't told her. I don't know if she remembers, but I'm gonna tell her the next time I see her.
That's the only like redeemable part of hanging out with people that are really fucked up, is that like you remember it and then you get to tell them about it the next day. Yeah. It's so funny. That shit's so funny. It almost makes it worth it. Like I used to do that with the cousin that asked me about the cactus. That motherfucker was like an alcoholic. And so I would hang out with him.
She's not like that.
But I would hang out with him pretty often when I was in Phoenix. And then he was always doing some bullshit. And then the next day I would always end up telling him like, yeah, you did this and you did that and you said this and you said that. And he was like, he was always like, what the fuck? Like there was one time we were there chilling, and then he FaceTimed his friend. His friend lives here in California, actually. And he was like, his friend was talking about how he was going to go into town, and that they had some other plans originally, but then they changed the plans, and then now he was going into town. So like, yeah, I'll hit you up tomorrow, like blah, 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 right? And I knew this motherfucker was drunk as shit, and he wasn't going to remember any of it. So then the next day, I texted him, and I was like, yo, you need to call your friend. He's coming into town today. And then I sent him another message because I knew I know him. I know how he's gonna answer. I know what he's gonna say. I know how fucking stupid he is, right?
How the fuck do you know that?
So yeah, he was gonna be like, nah, they're doing this, this, and that, right? So I texted him. I was like, call so and so. He's coming into town today. And then I was like, no, he's not going to Vegas with so and so with this other person. Yeah. They canceled that. He's coming into town. Just call him. And then he didn't say shit, right? But I already knew what the responses were gonna be, so I just sent both of them. And then he called me later, and he was like, yo, how did you know? And I was like, I was fucking there, you idiot. And he was like, yeah, but like, and I was like, and so the dude called us, and we had this conversation, but you were all fucked up, so I knew you weren't going to know.
Actually,
wait. Oh, fuck.
Hold
on. Close your eyes. I fucked all this up. I need to, for real, cover your eyes and don't look. Open your eyes. Ready?
I just see a black shirt. Oh. Oh shit!
Isn't this shirt super cool?
That shirt is cool.
Look at it.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the problem.
Spider-Man.
Here's the problem. You did not react the way I expected you to.
Oh.
You don't recognize this shirt?
It's Big Oscar. I got it for Big Oscar, didn't I?
You bought it for him, right?
Yeah. I thought you just like, did you steal it?
Motherfucker, I'm in California.
Did you steal it? How the fuck? I thought you just bought one. And I was like, I knew I had good taste. Like, fucking, you fucking asshole.
You're so fucking stupid.
Big Oscar just let you take it?
It gets so much worse. It gets so much worse. So check it out.
Does he not like it?
Hold on. Check it out.
You didn't like it?
I wanted to start the podcast wearing this, and I wanted you to recognize. Okay, watch.
It's a cool shirt, though.
Okay.
Look,
watch. Look. Listen. I was in town, right? We were both in town for Sophia's graduation. Sophia left. I was still there. I was there, and then Mom texted me. She was like, "Yo, let's go eat at this place." And I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "All right, get ready," because my mom still has to like nag me, like, "Get ready, hurry up, get out of the restroom already," right? She's like, "All right, get ready."
Hurry up and get
so
out.
Then I go to the room, and I'm like going to my luggage, and I'm gonna put something on. And she walks into the room, into the office, or her office there at the house, and she's wearing this shirt. And I was like, yo,
oh shit,
that's a badass shirt, right?
I know it is.
No, it gets so much worse. Listen to this story. This is how I know I think I might be a mama's boy for real. I was like, she's wearing this shirt, and I was like, yo, that's a badass shirt. And then she was like, right? It's pretty cool, huh? And I was like, whose is it? And she was like, I don't know. And I was like, it's not like Big O's? And she was like, I asked him if it was his, and he says he doesn't recognize it. Like, he doesn't know it to be his. He doesn't know where it came from, whose it is. Like, he has no idea. Hold on. And then I was like, can I have it? Like, if it's no one's, like, if no one claims it, no one knows whose it is, can I have it? And she was like, I mean, yeah, sure. And then I was like, can I have it now?
And she took it off and gave it to you?
And she fucking took it off.
Little bitch.
I wore it for the rest of the day.
You're the little bitch, not Mom, by the way.
And so, like, that shit was hilarious. I was like, oh my God, I might be a mama's boy for real. Like, because that fucking, it was so funny. She just like.
So then how did you.
Hold on. I'm going to explain all of it, I promise. And I was like, can I have it? She was like, sure. I mean, yeah. Like, and I was like, can I have it like now? And I was like, because I was literally at my luggage looking for something to wear, looking for something to put on. And I was
literally
like, let me wear that.
The clothes off of her back.
Right? And I was like, let me wear that. And she was like, yeah, I'll just wear this other shirt that I have right here. And I was like, okay, cool. And then I wore it, right? And then we were talking about it. And I was like, yeah, this is going to be hilarious. And I was like, I think Sophia bought this for Big O. And then, because me and Mom were talking about it, she's like, Big O says he doesn't know whose it is. He doesn't recognize it. He doesn't know where it came from. And I was like, she was thinking that maybe you had bought it for me or someone had bought it for me and I had just forgotten it there. And I was like, no fucking way. I wouldn't remember that someone bought this for me, right? And I was like, I think Sophia bought it for Big O. And I was like, that makes the most sense to me. Sophia, if anyone was going to buy me a superhero something, they would buy me something of like Deadpool. No, they wouldn't buy me Spider-Man, right?
Yeah,
and I was like,
you buy
Big O
Spider-Man
is the one.
Big O.
Big O is the one to receive Spider-Man shit. And Sophia is the one to be buying Spider-Man shirts for him, as opposed to like me or Celeste, right? Because like I feel like I never buy good shit. I feel like there's a lot of good ideas as far as what to get Big O, but they're good in theory and not in practice. And I never get them good in practice. You know what I mean? I think Sophia is the only one that buys him shit that he actually uses sometimes. And so I was like, this seems to me
he
like
wore
a shirt.
That when he was
This
here.
seems to me like a shirt Sophia would buy for Big O. Right? Did you get it for Christmas?
I got it for him for Christmas. You were there when he opened it.
It looked familiar to me. Anyways.
And he said,
so hold on.
this is cool. And he wore it the next day.
So then we were like theorizing.
You guys are all assholes.
We were like theorizing who bought it for who, where it come from, this, that, whatever. And then Celeste was like, nah, Mom was like, what if Celeste bought it for Big O? And I was like, well, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to steal it. And she was like, nah, but you should ask her and just like see if it's okay. And Mom always has this mom thing that she does where she like acts like, do this and then that, and then it'll all be good. And it's like, no, that's not how it works. She was saying to ask Celeste if Celeste bought it for Big O, and then if Celeste said yes, be like, oh, I'm gonna borrow it. And I'm like, no, that's not how that works. If I consciously know that Celeste bought it for Big O, I can't take it. And if I'm gonna take it, I'm not fucking borrowing it. I'm stealing it. I'm keeping it. You know what I mean? Like, there's two negatives there, two wrongs. And so then I was like, I'm pretty sure Sophia bought it for Big O. And I was like, so I'm gonna wear it on the podcast. And hopefully she'll just like recognize it and be like, what the fuck? Where'd you get that shirt? You stole it, blah, blah, blah. And then I'll tell the story. But then your dumbass didn't even recognize it when I was wearing it. Like,
I did, but like I thought you just bought it. Like I thought like it was cool because I got it at Walmart. And so like they always just have shirts there. So I thought, I don't know, he shops at Walmart sometimes. So I thought maybe you saw it was like, hey, this is cool. Look at my cool shirt.
No, but look at this badass. Look.
I know it's badass. I bought it.
It has like the spider in the background. And then it has the black Spider-Man. Well, he has the Venom suit on, but it is still Spider-Man. It has the shit. But they highlighted this red, which makes sense, and it also doesn't. Spider's red, but that's supposed to be white. Anyways, it's really cool. I've enjoyed wearing it the 2 times I've worn it. I'm gonna wear it some more. And I'm in LA, so like, what are you gonna do about it? You can't come get it, right? And so yeah, so I stole this.
I don't know what I'm more upset about.
Big O not realizing,
remembering you just stealing it, even though you kind of theorized already that I was the one who gave it to him, or mom just fucking letting you.
It's not funny. Anyways, but isn't that fucking hilarious? I was like, can I have it? She was like, yeah. And I was like, can I have it now? Anyways, that was my favorite topic for this week. I have a handful more though. Sophia corrupts me, right? Because there are things that she does that I don't necessarily like or enjoy.
Like but what? I'm perfect.
Would you shut up? I'm getting to the point that she does that I don't necessarily like or enjoy. But then she does it so much, or she does it like so ridiculously and kind of funny that I start doing that shit too.
Like hello.
And then I'm like, ugh.
No der.
Yeah, like that. Which people don't get. People don't get it. Sophia is the thing where she changes vowels to so like instead of hello she'll say hello, and instead of no she'll say ner, or instead of like duh she'll say der. And then I started doing that shit too because she did it so much. So anyways,
I'm just so influential.
But then she also started changing consonants to fucking and it's like it's ridiculous. So anyways,
like what?
She'll be like dermy.
Dermy. Oh yeah.
Dermy. Anyways, yeah. So here's a good example of you
corrupting you.
Yeah, our cousin
had
a baby recently. You know which one?
Pooped it out. Yeah,
the dude that had a girl, right?
Oh, the other one. Okay.
Who the fuck? No, not this
one.
No,
yeah.
Okay, sorry.
The more recent one. Anyways.
Is it? I don't know.
Yeah.
So the dude that had a girl, right?
Yeah.
Over in Texas.
Okay.
We have a cousin. He had a daughter recently.
Mm-hmm.
Our cousin has a sister. She's also our cousin. She's the aunt of the daughter, right? The aunt posted videos of the daughter on Instagram because she's been posting pictures and videos of like, oh, my niece, she's so pretty, right? She posted videos of the daughter, and she was like, so and so, the daughter's name. She was like, so and so took her first. So and so tried her first spicy food this week, and also so and so did her first crawl this week. And so she posted 2 videos. One of the baby eating a little something. It was a little spicy. She handled it pretty well. And then another video of her like crawling towards the remote, right? And it was super cute and everything because you see her big old chubby face and her like hair everywhere. And it's like, yeah, so-and-so took her first crawl and she had her first spicy food this week. And my immediate gut reaction to seeing that story, was like, yes, boss ass pussy queen.
That's even better than cute. Ah! Period. Because she is a boss ass pussy queen. Look at that.
Because she's a girl. So I was like, that makes sense. Like, and that was my first thought, where it was like, oh, she learned to crawl this week and she ate her first spicy food. And I was like, period, boss ass pussy queen. And then I was like, so funny. Oh, fuck. Sophia's ruined me.
Does that mean I can start calling you that now?
No. I mean, like, that's the type of thing, like, if you just say it, then it can just be funny. But, like, me giving you permission to call me that, that's weird.
No,
Like
I want
just say it or just don't,
No, I want you to give in. Just accept it.
So anyways, that's how I felt. Good job, so and so, for crawling. You did a good job. It was so funny though. It was so funny though.
That's hilarious. I thought you were gonna say cute because Oscar always yells at me because I say everything's cute, except for Cyrus. He's handsome. So I thought you were gonna be like, "How cute," and you're like, "Ah," But that was funnier.
Oh, it was good, guys. We were back in town, and Sophia was showing the different. Sophia made us like give our opinions on the different dresses she bought, and then one of them she was like, "Yeah, I like it. I think it's really pretty," or some shit. And then I was like, "What?" And she was like, "Huh?" And I was like, "You didn't call it cute?" Because Sophia only ever describes things as cute, no matter what it is. And then she was like,
"That's not true."
No, yeah, like it's cute. And then I was like, God damn it. For 1 second, you had another word in your vocabulary, and then you just went back to cute. But you didn't even you didn't even notice it. You didn't even realize.
Yeah, I didn't. I remember you saying that. I thought, because just the other day we were talking about how, because Oscar's a nerd, right? And so he was saying,
I'm gonna take this shirt off now.
Yeah, take that shirt off. You don't fucking deserve to wear that.
I'm still keeping it, and I'm not taking
my
it
heart
back to El Paso with me, so nobody can steal it back.
I'm gonna steal something of yours the next time I see you, and you're not gonna know what. And you're gonna, I'm gonna steal your right shoe, and you're gonna go home, and you're gonna be like, "Where the fuck is my right shoe?" And I'm gonna be like, "Right here on my foot, bitch." Anyways, what's it called? Oh, just the other day, me and Oscar were talking about how or Oscar brought up how he was saying yeah, I saw this thing where Oscar, stop whispering to yourself. I'm trying to tell a story, and it's hard to concentrate when you're talking to yourself. Okay. Anyways, Oscar and his nerdy ass was saying how people don't know vocabulary well enough if they have to use really before describing something. Like something's really cute. There's a word.
I was saying this
for really. Yeah, you were saying this. There's a word for really nerd. Something. I know. So I don't remember
saying this at all.
You were saying
Hold on, can you start over? Where were we? What happened?
Oh my god. Okay. Because originally we were saying how I said it was really pretty. And then you're like, wait, what? And then I was like, it's cute. And then you were like, right? And I was saying, and you're like, and you didn't even realize that. I was like, I realized there was something, but I thought it was something else. Because just the other day, we were having a conversation where you were saying, yeah, I saw this post saying people who don't know the English vocabulary, you can tell who doesn't know it very well because they'll use stuff like really before describing something. Oh, I really like that. There is a word for really it's like love. I love that.
Or adore.
There's a strong adore. There's a stronger, more appropriate word for it, right?
Yeah.
And so I was just like, whatever, right? So we had just kind of finished talking about that not too long ago. And so when I was like, it's really pretty, you were like, what? I was like, this fucking motherfucker, it's cute. Leave me alone. You know what I mean? So that's why I said cute. That I didn't realize he was all like, what? Because I used something other than cute. Anyways. So
yeah, girls are annoying. They only describe things as cute. Like if you show them a shirt and it's like, yo, what do you think of this shirt? And they're like, oh yeah, it's cute. Or you show them a fucking car, how you painted your car. They'll be like, oh yeah, it's cute. Or you show them how you set up your living room or your bedroom, and it's like, oh yeah, it's really cute. They can't think of any other word to use to describe something that they like.
That's not true. That's not true. Whenever I show any of my friends pictures of you, they say you're ugly. They say you're fucking ugly.
I knew that. Wait, you said whenever you show your friends pictures of me?
Yeah.
Liar. Anyways, if you saw a picture of me and you said that, okay, I get it. Anyways. Oh
my god, Cyrus.
Couple more things here.
Cyrus,
go fuck yourself, all right?
You want to come cuddle? Come here, little boy.
Bad bitch, move. Thank you.
Bad bitch with a baddie friend.
Shut up.
With the baddie friend.
Shut up. I have another story. Okay, ready?
Ready.
The other day,
bro, stop trying to go on
the other day.
Anyways,
me and Big O were
at the house,
right?
Yeah.
And our aunt was telling us, she was like, yeah, I had a couple beers yesterday. This aunt doesn't normally drink that. She drinks on occasion, very lightly, right? And she was like, yeah, I had a couple beers yesterday.
But when she gets fucked
and she was like, and I was like Big O and so-and-so, where I was pretty fucked up and I was just listening to music the whole night.
She was
right?
like,
And we were like, and she was like,
that's
and I was
so
just
funny.
listening. I was listening to songs that like make me cry. And she was like just nothing but songs that like really fucking hit home, right? And then she was like, look, I was listening to this one, and she played. She started playing all the songs that she was crying to the night before, right?
Crying drunk. That's
and
so
we're kind of
funny.
just talking about it, and her daughter was there, and she was like, "Yup, she was crying to this shit. Yup, she was fucked up.
She's like, "Yep, I saw this
Yup,
with
this,
my
yup,
own
that."
eyes."
Right? And then later, she would like, we kept playing music, and then she was like, "Here, you put on something," or like, "What's a song that you like?" or blah blah blah, right? And there was a song, and she was like, "This is one of those songs that like, no matter when I hear it, it always kind of like hits home, right?" And then she was like, "What's a song for you that's like that?" And she was like a song that, no matter how long ago, no matter how long it's been, no matter how, when you hear it, whatever, it always like,
it's an Ed Sheeran song, right? Isn't it?
No, I don't have an answer for this. That's not the point of the story. Point is, she was asking me, and then she was asking her daughter, and then she was like, I think for her daughter, she was like, I think it's like this song, or like that song, or this song. Those are ones that really hit home for you. And then she was kind of like, yeah, this one's good or that one's good. And then Take on Me came on the TV.
When you're not strong, I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry.
That's not the song.
No?
No, you
Isn't
stupid
that
ass.
Take on Me?
No, I don't know if that's what it's called, but that's not the song we're talking about. No, the one that's like, take on.
Take my hand. That one?
Take
my whole life too. That one?
Stop being stupid. You know what fucking song I'm talking about, bro. Anyways.
I swear. Wait, no, like for real, not that.
Bro, well, would you shut up and listen to the song I'm singing?
Okay, sing it.
You fucking annoying ass. It's like, take on me. It's like,
oh my god, she was crying to that one?
No, our cousin, her daughter. That's like her song that she like really loves and like whatever, right? Here's
but
the
like
thing.
Cries to?
Not necessarily cries to, but it just like,
but just like
it hits home for her, right?
Oh, okay.
And so then she was like, oh, well, this song is one of them, because it was on the TV right then and there when we were talking about it. And she was like, this song is one of them. Like, I really love this song. Like, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And then I was like, really? Like, this is kind of like an old song. And I was like, we were talking about the general subject. And then I did mention Ed Sheeran because I recently, hold on. Because I recently listened to the Multiply album, which I had first started listening to when I was in high school. And so I hadn't listened to like the whole album in a really long time. And I listened like through it, and then hearing the songs and hearing the shit that he talks about, it kind of like, I was like, oh shit, like I get why I fucking like this so much at that time. You know what I mean? And so I was like, so it was kind of a little moment, but like there's lots of songs that I like, right? And so then our cousin was talking about Take on Me, and she was like, yeah, I like this song, like this is one of them. And I was like, this is kind of an old song, whatever. And then her mom, when it was all fucked up listening to music, she was like, yeah, but I know why she likes this song. Because this song used to be on the Just Dance game. And I used to play the Just Dance game, trying to kind of like be active and like exercise a little bit. And our cousin, who was like 8 at the time, she's like 19 now. Or I think she's, is she about to be 20? No, she's 19. She's about to be 19. Our cousin, who was like 8 at the time, would sit on the couch and just laugh at her. She was telling us the story. She was like, I used to play the Just Dance game, and I used to do this song, and I was trying to just kind of like be more active and kind of like, do some cardio, whatever. And then our cousin, her daughter, would just sit on the couch and watch her and just fucking laugh her ass off.
That's funny. That's fucked, but that's hilarious.
I was like, and then she was telling that story, and our cousin, who was right here next to me, she was laughing her ass off, and she was like, yeah, I would.
Yeah.
It was so fucked up.
So funny.
It was so funny.
That's hilarious.
And I was like, oh, you're a dick. Like,
that's funny.
But that cousin, I remember when she was little, she used to like, she would always laugh at her mom, like always like make fun of her and shit. Where she would tell her, she would be like, Mom, go like that. And then her mom would just like wave, and she was like, no, like that. And then her mom would do that shit, and the kind of little flab under her arm, the bat wing
jiggle
would kind of flap a bit, and then our cousin would laugh her fucking ass off. And she was like 4 or 5, but she would laugh her fucking ass off, and she would just like, ah, mic is fucking.
That's so funny.
It's
and
so fucked up. But it's like so fucking funny. But our aunt knew, and she would wave like that on purpose, and then her daughter would be like, "No, do it like this," and she would
right. Like
she would kind of give into it where she was like,
"Fine."
Like,
it's so funny because kids are so funny because like I don't know how much she realized, but like they don't give a fuck. But I'm sure she wasn't like trying to make her like she was doing it because it amused herself, not because she wanted her mom to feel bad. You get me? Yeah. Like I feel like that's the thing with kids. And I remember, like I vaguely remember when we were like really little, like really, really little, when like we would still like shower with like mom, you know what I mean? Cause like I was transitioning from like taking baths to showering, right? Yeah. And so like I remember being with mom in the shower and I would go like this on her stomach. Oh. Like I would go like, I
was like, I would go, what the fuck are you doing?
I would go, bouncy house, bouncy house, bouncy house. Or I would be like, brinca, 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 which is Spanish for like jump. I'd be like, brinca, fucking brinca, bitch. Brinca. And the thing is, what the fuck? I didn't, like at the time.
Yeah, you had no idea. Yeah.
I had no idea. Like, I didn't.
Well, like, have you seen those videos where like moms are recording and they like try on a dress and then their daughter's like, yeah, you look pregnant, like, and shit like that. I haven't seen those. Those are fucking hilarious.
No, yeah, but like, I'll think back to it sometimes, like
and
that's
like,
the brinca, 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 and I'm like, damn, like I know she fucking would think about that like every time. So you know what I mean?
Just I was gonna say, I don't know if it's a kid thing or I don't know if it's a her kids thing, because our cousin's older brother, my aunt's son, who I used to live with, our aunt tells a story where she was like, when the Madagascar movie came out, we went to go see it, or they went to go see it, right? And so they go and they're in the theater and they're just chilling, and you know they introduce the different animals. Alex the lion does his little performance and he roars and shit, right? Yeah. And then eventually they introduce Gloria, who's the hippo. Yeah. And Gloria's like dancing and shit. And our cousin, my former roommate, in the middle of the theater at like 4 or 5 years old, yells out, "Look, mommy, that's you! That's you, mommy!" When fucking Gloria is on the screen.
You know what? Gloria's a bad bitch, okay? It's a compliment, I think.
Like, and our aunt tells a story and she was like, this fucking asshole yelled it loud as fuck in the middle of the theater.
You just know the other parents were laughing.
And like, the kid was like, look, mommy, that's you. Look, it's you.
Damn. Because like, it's so funny because kids, like, I feel like you don't mean them like in a bad way because you don't know the social norms. You don't know what's considered beautiful or not. Like, you're just like, you know, it's just this person that takes care of you. But it's hilarious. Oh my God. Like, there's, it was funny. I think I've told this story before, but I'm going to tell it again because we're kind of on the topic. But I used to babysit this little girl, right? And we're like, yeah, you know which one I'm going to say or what?
I know what story. Yeah, it's so funny.
I used to babysit this little girl, right? And she was like 6, 7-ish, you know what I mean? I can't remember exactly because I was with her since she was like 6 to like 8, I think. So she was 6 to 7. It's like a little earlier on. And I got there and her mom, she's like, I'm just like finishing getting ready. You can sit on the couch. Like, we'll like leave right now. I was like, girl, take your time. It's fine. Right. And so her and the little girl are in the bathroom, like while the mom's getting ready. Right. And I just hear, cause like I'm in the other room in the couch and I just hear, oh my God, Sophia. And she's like walking out of the bathroom, like going, and I was like, yeah, you will not believe what my daughter just said. And I was like, what? I was like, what? And she was like, she said my butt was big. And like, I see her like finally like kind of walking down the hall, like towards me. And then her daughter's following behind her like a little baby duck. And she's like, what, Mom? It's a compliment. And then they finally make it to me. And I just started crackling. Like, I was like dying. Which that one, I feel like that one's a little bit both like generational gap, but also like, I think it might be a little more generational gap than anything, but also just like little kids, like they don't know. She was
genuinely like, what the fuck? I was trying to get
what?
Like,
yeah. because like she's older and like having a big butt back in the day like was like bad or whatever. So she was like, this for little girl, you know what I mean? But she was just like, no, like
she was so confused.
Like
she's
like, you look good. Like, what you mean? Like, you know what I mean? It was just funny. That's it. I was cackling. Like, I will never forget. I think that's probably like one of my favorite like stories from like then. It was so funny.
That's just so funny. Oh, I don't know if we mentioned this in the last episode, but we were talking about 2 episodes ago. We were talking about how Sofia wants to go to mi cabaña when she goes back home, and then we found out that
these liars.
It wasn't closed.
It wasn't closed. Our sister is a graphic design major or minor or something, or she has a degree in it, right? And so this fucking, you're gonna have to bleep that part out. This bitch, fucking like. She got a picture. She like made it.
She just
made it. She photoshopped it into the thing, and like I was like, "Oh no, how sad!" And then Oscar told me, and I was like, "No, that's so sad." And I was so sad, right? And so I called my mom. Like after we hung up, I called my mom, and I was like, "Mom, is this true?" Because I was about to go back in town for graduation, and I wanted to get my beans catered from there because I was having platas and refried beans and rice. You know what I mean, for like my graduation party. And I was like, we were gonna get the beans from there. Like, what the heck? What are we gonna do? You know what I mean? So I called my mom and I was like, Mom, is it true? She's like, yeah. Like, I was like, is it both? Yes! And I was like, what? Oh no, like, what are we gonna do? Like, the beans. Oh no, I love that place. I didn't know the last time I was gonna be there was the last time I was gonna be there. Like, oh, this is so bad. All sad, girl, right? Just to later find out, when I got in town, they're like, surprise, shorty, we're gonna make it back. It's still open. I was like, girl, fuck for that. Like, and then she told me like it was all a lie. And then I eventually talked to my sister about it. It was funny because I got there and I just texted her, "You're a bitch." Nothing. No, nothing. And then she just put, ha 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 ha. And I sent a picture of us at mi cabaña. And she was saying how her boyfriend was saying that he had complete faith in me, that I was going to Google it. He was like, no, you're not going to trick her. She's going to Google it and then find out that you guys are lying. Like, nah, like she's smarter than that. You know, complete faith. You know, I was just like, damn, I let him down. And I was like, no, but like, I probably would have Googled it if mom hadn't told me it was shut down. Because why would I think my own mother would lie to me and betray me like that? You know what I mean? I was like, my mommy said it was closed, so it's closed. You know, because my mommy doesn't lie. I should have known better. She always lies. Anyways, she lied. And I believed her. And I was so sad. And then he was like, nah. For her boyfriend, she was like, nah, yeah, her mom lied to her. That's messed up. Like, I would believe it too. Like, mom, you know what I mean? He's like, nah, like, I ain't even disappointed because, like, that was messed up. And I was like, yeah, thank you. Anyways, so messed up.
Goofy ass.
So sad. I was so sad. No, I was so sad. Like,
what makes you more sad? What makes you more sad? Mi cabaña being closed or Big O not remembering the shirt?
Big O not remembering the shirt. That makes me more sad. Makes me not sad. It makes me more upsetty spaghetti. Okay?
And then later we went to eat with Celeste, and we were like, I guess we'll find out if Celeste bought this right now when we see her, because she'll be like, what the fuck? And then we tell her the whole story, and she's like, no, I have no idea where that shirt's from. And then I looked at Big O, and I was like, this isn't yours. Like, Sofia didn't buy this for you, and he was like, that's not mine. Because you know how he'll get an attitude and shit.
Get offended.
Like, you question. And he was like,
that's right after we.
He was like, that's not mine. And like, has this face and shit of like
I already told you.
You think I wouldn't know what my fucking shirt is? Like, I know what's mine and what's not. And then I was like, yeah, but you know this motherfucker's the type to receive something as a gift and then not remember that he's the one who received it as a gift. And everybody,
we were in my apartment.
Everybody else, Mom and
they
Celeste
came to visit
like,
me for Christmas.
Mom and
they
Celeste
opened
were
it
like,
in my living room.
Mom and Celeste were like, yeah, you are that type to forget that type of shit. And he was like, fuck you guys, no, I'm not. Like, and we're like, I was 99% sure that you had bought it for him, and that's why it was there. So then when I showed up and I had it and you didn't react, I was like,
maybe not. Where did this come from?
Where did it come from? Like, you know what I mean? But never mind. Yeah, I was right.
My family is a bunch of liars and assholes, and I'm the only perfect pretty one. No, we're all pretty, but I'm the only not liar. Kind of an asshole sometimes, but so sad.
That's gonna be on the intro.
Anyways, that's it for today's episode, guys. I feel like that's a pretty good way to end the episode or whatever. Like, comment, and subscribe. Comment fucked up lies that your family has told you. Just comment the most outrageous shit that they lied to you about, okay? And like and comment and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Okay.
And comment your favorite song to dance to on Just Dance.
Wave bye.
No.
Wave bye. Wave bye. Yeah, wave bye. That bitch, you didn't wave bye. I wave bye 2 times as hard. Okay, bye.